Hello everyone, Beats42 back again with another review. This is the Bicycle Old Masters. It's the latest from CollectablePlayingCards.com. As you can see, there's two different decks and different boxes. And this is just a small smidgen of what they had planned. They had, I think, 6 or 7 different boxes planned. But nobody was interested. They never hit those stretch goals. And they never happened. And most of the other boxes just featured more art like this, different court cards featured, and it was ridiculous. It's getting ridiculous that some Kickstarters or project creators think they can pump out, 4 different boxes for one deck of cards. It's just ridiculous and not acceptable in my opinion. Anyway, like people need to stop, buying all these limited edition tuck cases. So this is the standard one. It says Bicycle on top, Old Masters on the bottom, and you see the Mona Lisa. This one is the limited edition. It says Bicycle on top, and then it says Old Masters limited edition. Playing cards on the bottom. The sides says United States Playing Card Company, Ericus and Finis. Again, a little bit hard to read. I wish they would use colors that stand out a little bit more so you can actually read it. On the other side says Old Masters Playing Cards. Or, make the writing bigger so it's actually easier to read. The top says Old Masters Playing Cards. The bottom has the logo for CollectablePlayingCards.com where you can buy these. And also copyright stuff. And this one, the standard one, also has a barcode, while the limited one does not, which is kind of interesting. Makes me wonder if they're going to be printing more later on. And in the back, you see the back design, which we'll look at better in a minute. This one has a seal, which is just the Mona Lisa again. This one had a seal, which was on the cellophane. And it says Old Masters Limited Edition, 805 out of 2800, which is limited but not extremely limited. It's not 1000 or 1500. It's 2800. Makes me beg the question, how many of the standard ones did they print? And is it really that much more limited than the standard ones? I'd like to know. But it is different, and we're given that much. A lot of the other Kickstarter creators, they'll just put a different box on the same cards and they'll only do 500 and go, oh, it's super limited, there's only 500. Yeah, well, it's the same damn thing. It's just a different box. And then they do it 3 times. So, anyways, let's look at this. And then on the flap, you got Bicycle trademark stuff and little details on those flaps. Inside, you get the CollectablePlayingCards.com ad card with the logo on it, which is pretty cool. And then you see the back design, which has a, I don't know, a Victorian style type feel to it, I guess, which makes sense because it's kind of from that era. The borders, as you can see, are not white, either of the faces, as you'll see. And then you get this card which says Old Masters original paintings by, and it tells you what each court card and Joker is and who designed it. So we'll be going over that. Jokers, you get this one. It says Jokers in the corner, and this one is David by Michelangelo. And then the other one is a nude woman, and it is Apollo and Daphne by Gianna Lorenzo Bernini, and she's holding up a Three of Hearts reveal, which is pretty cool way of doing a reveal. The Ace of Spades, pretty standard spade whip, says Old Masters on it. You can see the faces have a interesting pattern in the background. It pretty much looks like you're looking up at a tree and you're seeing the leaves. And it says Old Masters on the red ribbon, and it does match to some extent the border you see on the back of the cards. The other aces are a little bit bigger than usual. The hearts are kind of weird shaped, but whatever. Indexes are also custom and an interesting font with a very small pip. Ace of clubs and the ace of diamonds. Now let's look at the court cards. I'll try to be quick. The first one you're going to see is The Night Watch by Rembrandt. Marquise de Pompadour by Francois Bousser. The Lute Player by Caravaggio. And unfortunately, I'm not really familiar with most of this. The Merry Fiddler by Gerrit van Honthorst. Of course, the Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci. Self-Portrait of a Sunflower of Anthony van Dyck. And no, I don't know if they threw in any kind of reveals in there. I haven't seen any. But it would be interesting if they did. This one, King of Diamonds, The Laughing Cavalier by Frans Hals. Smiling, maybe laughing, not so much. The Art of Painting by Jan Vermeer. Looks more like he's reading and playing a musical instrument. And this one is Mars and Venus United by Love by Paulo Veronese. Okay. And then Diana Returning from Hunt by Peter Paul Rubens. Infanta Margarita Teresa in a Blue Dress by Velázquez. And finally, The Inspiration of the Poet by Nicholas Poussin. And one thing you also notice, you might notice, is in the corner of each card, it tells you who the artist is. So that one says Poussin. Others say something else. The Jokers, I believe, have the same thing. I like the court cards. They're nice and colorful. They pop. They're artistic. They're nicely done. And then the number cards, you get more of the same, as you can see. Again, a bicycle stock, haircuts and finish. They handle pretty nicely. They look pretty cool when you fan them because of the coloring. And even this looks pretty cool, somewhat, I guess. That is that one. The other one is basically the same thing, it's just a different color. So I'm going to quickly look at that. Apologize if this is going a little bit longer. And you can see it's got some nice details on the flaps with this one. Different than the other one. And then your copyright stuff. And you get the same ad card and informational card. And everything is the same. Just the back design is red. And it's pretty nice, kind of a classic looking back design. And yeah, they're pretty interesting. You can get them at collectableplayingcards.com. That's my review of the Bicycle Old Masters. And they got several more decks lined up. Whoop, including 2 on Kickstarter right now. And they're doing, I believe, yeah, a pre-order for another one on the website. So really, a lot coming. So that's what I got. See you.